Hello everyone, welcome back to the IndieGeekGuy channel and welcome back to the happy show that is Hannibal. We are on the home stretch to the season 1 finale, the final disc of the set, the last 3 episodes, and we're hurtling. We're hurtling towards something here, and I have my nervousness about what we're going towards. Last time on Hannibal, we had a girl who had completely lost any awareness of her identity or even that she was alive, and in an attempt to reach out to someone that she loved or cared for, ended up killing her when she couldn't recognize her face. It was a whole thing. It was like The Grudge and The Conjuring, and then it shifted gears, and suddenly when you thought you were scared shitless of this girl, suddenly you're like, oh god, I feel so bad for her, my heart is breaking in real time. But one important detail was that she was in the room with Hannibal when he killed someone and mutilated the body, and as he's running this experiment on Will effectively to see how he interprets certain situations, because we know there's something going on up here that isn't right in Will's brain, and Hannibal is kind of poking it with a stick and seeing how far he can take it. But the crucial thing is, if she can remember Hannibal's face, if she can put him to that place, she is in danger. She's currently stuck in a metal glass tube thing that will hopefully help her regain physical strength as she starts to mend her mind a little bit, and I feel like we're going somewhere with that. Essentially, I only see badness in that girl's future, unfortunately, because Hannibal will get rid of her if he has to. Like, there's no two ways about it. If she ever comes anywhere close to remembering that he was in that room, then bye. So yeah, there is a lot going on as we head towards this finale. I don't know what this episode's going to focus on. We had Will being kind of the main focus last time, so maybe we're going to get a little bit more Jack this time. Maybe we'll get a little bit more Hannibal this time. Maybe we'll get Alana Bloom this time. It could go anywhere for this episode. The one thing I do know is that I'm excited and nervous, and it feels like Black Sails all over again with, oh god, I hope things don't go bad for the characters I like. But before we jump into this episode, please remember to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the reaction and the review that happens afterwards. Also, subscribe and support the channel that way. There are social links down below, including the Discord server and my Twitch channel where we go live playing games. You should come hang out in the chat and all that good stuff, and we can talk about things as I play games to a really, really high standard, trust me. But that's everything. Let's do this. Let's see what's happening next on Hannibal.
Dr. Gideon is a psychopath. Psychopaths and narcissists, they rarely doubt who they are.
Okay, looks like we're going back to Gideon somehow. That's where we're going.
I have no interest in understanding sheep, only eating them.
That mean he's gonna kill Gideon? I imagine he would do eventually, right? Can't be having someone out here taking credit for his work.
Once a patient is exposed to the method of manipulation, it becomes much less effective. The subject mustn't be aware of any influence.
Just like he's doing with Will. Can't be aware of what I'm doing to him in order to push him. His brain's melting. His brain's melting. The iceberg, his brain, everything is melting.
You made me kill the nurse. The nurse is your fault.
I cannot accept responsibility for your actions, Abel.
Au contraire, it's why I'm suing you. Who knows what I'm thinking?
This is insane. What's happening right now? This is insane. It was your fucking fault though, dude. Yeah, you did this. Is he going to escape? Is he going to escape?
How do you keep those whites so clean? That's always amazes me.
I think he might have escaped. I think he may have escaped. I was thinking, you don't cast Eddie Izzard in this show and don't do something with him. And here we all are, I guess. Oh god, here he goes! Here he goes! Ah! Oh, always with the necks. Always with the necks. Oh my god. He's like Spider-Man.
So does Abel Gideon still believe that he's the Chesapeake Ripper?
Abel Gideon is having a difference of opinion about who he is.
Interesting. We're really going down this rabbit hole of identity, huh?
Gideon is not the Chesapeake Ripper, although he might have thought he was under your care, Doctor.
If he thinks he is, or even if he's confused on that issue, he will kill again.
I hope he does not, for your sake.
Cannot imagine how you would sleep with that on your shoulders.
Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ, this guy. This guy's gotta go.
You are armed and you are extremely dangerous.
Baltimore State Hospital for the criminally insane. You will kill again.
Okay, I'm worried. I'm officially worried for Will. Like, I don't like where we're going. The identity crisis is real with everyone, it seems like.
I fear not knowing who I am.
That's what Abel Gideon's afraid of, isn't it? He's like a blind man.
Here we are again, Will.
Got inside his head and
Will identifying with a killer once again. Oh, Will, you are on one today, my friend. Every single time we've cut to you, there's some shit going on. Someone help him, please. Please.
And just scramble the brains.
that's what they did to him.
All right, I want a list of every therapist, every doctor, any kind of psychiatric professional that worked with or talked to Dr. Gideon.
Does that include Will and Alana?
Alana Bloom will be on that list.
Yeah, because it definitely counts Alana.
He's gonna want somebody to tell him who he is, and I think he'll be looking for the Ripper to do that.
We're going to have a confrontation between Hannibal and Gideon. Because I'm here for it, if we get it.
Chesapeake Ripper will kill him. He took credit for his work. The Ripper would consider that rude.
He's killed people for less. Let's be real.
My name is Paul Carruthers. I'm a psychiatrist. I read your article.
Right. Not even hiding his voice.
Could we meet?
Alright, Freddy. You might be in danger.
Now, you wrote in your Tatler archive the Chesapeake River one
Yep.
demands. They call this the Colombian necktie.
It's wiggling. It's wiggling. Ugh. I didn't even notice the tongue until he started touching it.
Drained him till his heart stopped.
4.5 liters all packed in ice. Please deliver it to the Red Cross.
Oh my god.
He's peacocking for the Ripper.
Well, now they're going to know Freddy's involved.
Might be working out the emergency exits, or at least considering them.
Oh, we're back in the observatory.
Every detail of Dr. Carruthers' murder, as described meticulously in Freddie Lowndes' article, has been faithfully reproduced, except for one.
What's different about Carson? Why amputate his arm?
Something about the trainee's arm? Like some sort of link?
Gideon didn't kill this man. The Chesapeake Ripper did. He's telling us where to catch him.
The link, the arm, the observatory, it all comes back round. Oh, that's a fucking big brain play by Hannibal right there. I don't want to deal with this fucking guy, so I'm just gonna send Jack in to do it for me.
Got inside my mind, Frederick. It is only fair I get inside your belly.
Oh my God.
Yo, Jack, you might. I don't like this guy, but you might want to hurry up. Oh, there's your friendly elk friend. Oh, where you going, Will? Where you going? Why are you stumbling off into the woods by yourself?
Gideon's gone.
Into the woods? Is he in the woods? Freddy's just like dead behind the eyes right now. Jesus. Oh my god, is Will gonna be in the car? Is Will gonna be in this fucking car? Like a crazy person.
I was expecting the Chesapeake Ripper.
Or are you he?
Yeah, there he is. Oh my god, he brought him to. Oh my god. I can't believe that this situation has happened.
What do you see, Will?
Garrett Jacob Hobbs.
Who do you see?
Hey, maybe it's about time you bring out the extinguisher on his fiery brain, Hannibal.
There's no one there, Will.
No, you're lying.
We're alone. You came here alone. Do you remember coming here?
Please don't lie to me.
Will, you're having an episode. I want you to hand me the gun. Will. I want you to hand me your... Well? He's had a mild seizure.
Oh my
That
God.
doesn't seem to bother you.
I said it was mild. Alana Bloom was one of your psychiatrists, too. I can tell you where to find her.
Okay. Didn't see this coming. Jesus Christ. Trying to keep up with Hannibal's games is making me insane.
You killed Garrett Jacob Hobbs once. You can find a way to kill him again.
Where are you going?
Abel Gideon is still at large. He mutilated Dr. Chilton. I'm worried about Alana.
Oh, after you just gave away her position? Unless it was a double trap bait thing. He left the gun on purpose. He's left the gun and the keys there on purpose. What is happening? He's just trying to get him to go kill fucking Gideon under the guise of being Hobbs. Can he train Will to be a killer on his behalf? Is that where we're going with this?
It's hard to be with another person when you can't get out of your own head. But if I kill her, like he would kill her, maybe I could understand him better. I wonder if then you would finally understand what you've become.
Yep, there it is. There it is. That might have been a bit of a nail in Will's coffin, that act.
I know who Will is. Will knows who he is. But our experiences shape us, Jack. How is this experience going to shape Will? I see his madness and I want to contain it. Like an oil spill.
Oil is valuable.
Or use it.
I see myself in Will.
Do you see yourself in his madness? What does he present you with?
The opportunity for friendship.
He is still
Just in your weird way of showing it, bud.
You must force yourself to take a step back.
Just watch him lose his mind.
Sometimes all we can do is watch.
Uh-huh. I don't know if that's a helpful thing to do with your patient. Just watch him. Just watch him go mad, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. The mind games get trickier and trickier as every episode goes by. Okay, another episode of Will and his connection and his identity crisis and the metaphors that follow. I wasn't expecting to get essentially 2 of those kind of episodes in a row, but this one had a slightly different feel of it, whereas the previous one was a fear, or Will's fear of what he might become in the future if he keeps walking the path he's currently walking, whereas this one was much more rooted in his present and the things that he's dealing with, and obviously came to a head with him having a mild seizure, which Hannibal wasn't that worried about because, you know, it's mild, so, you know, it's good, we can deal with that. But yeah, an episode all about identity crisis and the manipulation of someone's identity. Like Will is being manipulated by Hannibal in a great many ways and being prodded and poked to see where his empathy and his mindset, and with the inclusion of this now physical illness that's going on with him and where that's going. We had Gideon, who has discovered, or kind of discovered, that he isn't the Ripper as he believed he was in the previous episode. It's sort of become a reality for him where he doesn't know his old self anymore, but he knows he's not the Ripper anymore, and he's really like just struggling to come to terms with who he's supposed to be, and he feels he needs to get into contact with the Ripper so he can understand who the Ripper actually is, and maybe that way he could find what the clear differences between the two of them are. Little did he know that Hannibal would be like, no, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to get my buddy over here, unbeknownst to him, manipulated into killing you. That's my play. So people don't know that it's me, because I'm smart. The guy who's the head of the asylum, or institution, I should say, is still alive somehow. I mean, Freddy was clearly doing a very good job of putting oxygen back into his body, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know, it's one of those weird moments where you're like, I don't like that guy. That guy is a piece of shit, you know, in a nutshell. He is awful.
and he clearly takes his position of power and uses it for badness, basically. But when it comes to watching someone just being disemboweled while conscious, you know, you can't help but feel a little bit bad for them, even if they are a piece of shit. Freddy's reaction to that whole scenario was interesting. Like, she was just an observer. Like, it got to the point where she nearly felt like she'd just become dead behind the eyes. It was this weird combination of her being fascinated by how this guy can just do this, just seemingly get on and do it, no problems whatsoever, and also like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe this is happening right in front of me, and it actually stunned her into silence, which is, I suppose, a big thing for her, because that doesn't happen very often. But I do enjoy these episodes that find, like, it's all good storytelling where you've got kind of your A story and your B story, and you intertwine them in an interesting way. But this show seems to go a step further with that, where you do have two storylines going on. You've got the personal storyline of whichever character the episode's focusing on, in this case Will, and his increasing temperature and brain problems that are going on, and his identity crisis, mixed in with the kind of B story, the kind of what is the event of the situation, what is the situation of the episode, this case Gideon escaping and his identity crisis and what all that is, and linking them together in an intertwined way and having the two react off of one another, not just in terms of the characters reacting off one another, but the story beats reacting off of one another. There's also that interesting idea that, in this case, Gideon and Will are like similar, but different. They're both going through an identity crisis, except they're handling it in very different ways, and what they're trying to grasp onto is very different. Like, Will is trying to grasp onto his sanity, his morality, his way, his worldview, all of that stuff. So he still has a concept of who he is or who he should be, versus Gideon, who has lost all concept of who he used to be, and is just trying to figure out what he actually is, who he actually is, because he knows he's not the thing that he thinks he is or did think he was, and he knows the people who have put that in his head, and he's just reaching and trying to understand where he should be going. And then obviously within that gap of not knowing who he is, what he is, he's just acting out in revenge, is the only word I can think of. Like, he's just going for all the people who messed with his head in some way, whilst obviously simultaneously trying to draw out the Ripper as well. This episode is making me wonder where Will's going to go in these next two episodes, because, you know, we had him having a seizure here. Like, it looked like he was pushed right up to that edge, and Hannibal's like, I will know when to put the fire out, okay? I will know when to do that. It seemed like this was the time. It seemed like when he's at the point of having seizures, this is the time to put the fire out. But nope, he just kind of manipulates the situation into, can you go deal with Gideon, please? Just could you put him out of the picture, because he's taking credit for my work. I don't want him around anymore. I can't do it. It's just this weird, like, the mind games of Hannibal. And I guess the whole point is that really you can't understand Hannibal because you're not meant to. The way he thinks is beyond a normal human's brain of, like, understanding motivation and stuff. He just does what he thinks he needs to do, and usually for selfish reasons. But he is still very adamant about the fact that I seek friendship with this guy. I'm just trying to find my way in somehow, and how I can make that work, because I need him to understand me, but I don't know if that would work. And, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that Hannibal is seeking friendship with Will, but doesn't mind using Will for his own gains simultaneously. And that's a recipe for disaster, let's be real. I did find the last scene between Hannibal and his therapist interesting. Like, the idea of sometimes we just have to take a step back and watch it, whereas Hannibal seemingly can't help himself but get involved, both for his own curiosity, in his own weird twisted way, protection of Will, even though he seems to sort of dangle him out on a fishing line every so often and to see what would happen. Like, it's this compulsion of Hannibal's that he can't not get involved with Will in some way. And she's like, yo, we have to take a step back and just watch it, because that's what we do. I don't know what that is sort of hinting towards? Because to my unprofessional medical mind, it feels like your job is to intervene and help, and yeah, obviously to understand, and maybe that's what she was getting at. I don't know what was being hinted at there at the end, that the idea of you need to take a step back. All I really read from it really was, from the very beginning pretty much, Hannibal had an absolute compulsion to always be involved with whatever's going on with Will. Even if he's doing it in indirect ways, he's always had that compulsion. And maybe that's just what he's wrestling with, like the idea of getting involved and basically experimenting on Will versus helping him, and versus just being a good psychiatrist, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming we're going to get more on that as the episodes go on, especially as Hannibal tries to understand what friendship is, I guess, and how that works between two people. I guess the interesting thing about the story going forward is that they can't ignore Will's temperature and sickness that's going on, like physical illness. They said at the end there they still haven't been able to track down the infection in his body. But obviously Hannibal knows what's going on, so I'm guessing what we're going to be doing is, like, how far will Hannibal go to ensure that one, is him lying to Will doesn't come out, and two, how far he's willing to go to keep it a secret, which is going to be harder now that both Jack and Will seem very aware that there is a physical problem going on with him, and that may be informing some of his hallucinations and all that stuff. So we'll see where that goes. But I can honestly say I have no idea really what note the season's going to end on, which is a good thing. It's a good thing where a show can keep you guessing like that. I do have suspicions in terms of what things may come to a head, be it Jack and Hannibal clashing in some way, be it Will and Hannibal clashing in some way, being it the death of one of our main characters, what that could do. Like, there's a few options, but I don't have a certain, like, I think this is definitely going to be the thing that we do, because the show keeps messing with my head. So very much by design. Lots of crazy visuals in this episode to demonstrate Will's, both his physical illness and how that's affecting his mental state. Like, we had antlers galore, so many antlers, liquid, water, splish sploshing everywhere. Will saying he feels like a liquid, he's becoming a liquid, fluid, just spilling over the place, and, you know, all that good stuff. You know, the show has always been very good at visualizing Will's mental space, and other characters as well, but mainly Will, just really help the audience visualize what his brain is doing. And again, there was a lot of great examples of that in this episode. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Definitely the pushing Will to his breaking point is getting further along, and I'm fascinated to see where that's going to go, where that's going to put him. It definitely feels like he may end up being institutionalized himself by the end of this season. I just don't know what the breaking point is going to be, what he's going to do. But I do think that's on the cards at some stage. But we've also got a lot of other things to deal with this season. I don't know if the show was like commissioned for one season, there's your block, go for it, or if they had like another season already like ready to go, or whatever the situation was. So I'm expecting a fair few of these plot lines to get resolved in at least some kind of way, not maybe solidly, but at least in a loose kind of way. So we've got the Abigail thing still to cover. We've got the situation with the girl in the glass tube, where she's going to remember what happened, and Hannibal and all that stuff. There's lots of things these next two episodes presumably have to deal with, and I'm certainly interested to see how that's all going to come about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next ones. We're nearly there, nearly at the end of this first season, everyone. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what crazy shit this really happy killing show does. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please press the thumbs up button. It helps me know you liked it. It helps it get seen by all those other people out there. Also, consider supporting the channel and hitting the subscribe button, and then you won't miss any future videos. Links for social stuff in the description, including the Twitch channel. Should come hang out over there sometime. But other than that, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.